The Lord be with you, and a really, really warm welcome to you from all of us here at Powers Court with Kilbride. This is possibly one of the best summers we've had for a long time, and I can hear some of you on this little square saying, don't say that, don't say that, you'll put the mockers on it now and we'll have rain. So if it rains next week, you can happily blame me for that. You're very welcome to join me this morning in this fantastic weather. Do you know, wherever you are today, or wherever you have been, I hope you have had time to actually sit in either the sun or the shade and bask in this magnificent weather, because our winters are long enough and dark enough. So let's make the time to be in God's beautiful warmth and light at this time of year. And no better weather, I have to add, for a wedding. And we had a great wedding just the other day in Powers Court, St. Patrick's Powers Court. You know, sadly, weddings are becoming fewer and fewer in our churches, and I really can't understand why when you have such a magnificent setting. I'm going to share with you just a little piece of that as we prepared for the wedding the other day. It really was a very fine occasion indeed, and in the varied job that we as clergy do, there are two really joyous things that we are asked to do besides actually celebrating the Holy Communion, which is always a privilege and one that would break my heart to be without. But the two other things are baptisms and weddings. My goodness, to draw down the Holy Spirit in the presence of God on a little child or on a couple beginning their lives together is just a magnificent thing. So please remember Hugo and Caitlin in your prayers as they go forward in this new time, this new journey in their lives. Last week, we had a little look at the more creative ways to pray for another person, and I wanted to add to the list another way today. The tiny backstory behind it is that when I was training for ministry, the children were in their teens, early teens really, some of them, and I used to, when Ed came home in the evenings, take a half an hour to sit on my bed upstairs and commune with God. And one of the things I would do is I would plug in the earphones, I would put on a magnificent piece of music, and I would imagine a particular scene and draw the person that I was praying for into the scene. So this is just one of the many ways that you can do this, but I thought that I would share it with you today, and ask as our thought for today that you take this quiet time under what I hope are my gentle words and draw a person that you are concerned about or that you love or care about into the presence of God in this particular way. Imagine that you are standing at the bottom of 4 large granite steps that lead upwards to an ancient door, a church door, old and thick and heavy. And slowly you walk up the steps, and placing your hands against the soft warmth of the wood, you push the door open a little and slip inside. When your eyes adjust to the dimmer light, you notice that you are in an ancient church. The soft sunlight of the evening falling on wooden pews. And looking down, you see a beautifully tiled floor. And follow the aisle through the pews until it opens out into a huge tiled area with nothing in it, just before the steps to the chancel and to the altar. Above this great expanse of tile, there sits a small window, and through this window, a beam of light creates a shaft in which tiny particles of dust are moving. The light increases as you approach and becomes a sparkling golden white beam. You take the person that you are thinking of today by the hand and place them into the center of the beam of light. And stepping back into the shadows yourself, you observe how the light douses them like water over their head and their shoulders. Tiny tendrils of it wrapping around them and embracing them and lifting them. You have placed your loved one into the light of Christ, into the glory of God, into the safekeeping and restoration of the divine. And so as you walk back gently and quietly down the aisle to slip out the door yourself, you leave them there, encased in that brilliant light of God's keeping.